Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sick of Shit Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, as you know, Mr. Sick of Shit. Because just like you, every day I'm more sick of the shit than I was the day before. Going on in this country, especially, feel badly for people in other countries that are going through things at this point harder than we are. But our hard times are on their way. Don't think they're not. They are on their way. There are two channels that I would suggest listening to. One is Johnny Bravo or Jay Bravo and Economic Ninja. I would suggest them. I'm not going to say why, but I would. Very good channels. I got to tell you, folks, nothing is looking good for the future of this country or this world. Nothing is looking good. If you have a Chime card, you need to find some other means of getting your money, because there are thousands and thousands of people using Chime that suddenly have no access to their money. Their accounts are actually being closed. Don't think that this is not going to begin happening with a lot of banks. And likely, the bigger the bank, the greater the likelihood is that it's going to start happening. I got news for you. There's a hour and a half or maybe 2 hour posted video from Glenn Beck where he is interviewing 3 different families, one of whom is a Democrat family who voted for the white-haired troll. And their money, their bank accounts, everything was froze for over a year. And although they did eventually get, I think, some of that money back, I don't know if they got it all or not, but they had children. They have children. These people could not pay their mortgage. They couldn't buy food. They still had, of course, the income from their jobs, but that was all they had. And they had sizable checking and savings, sizable, that they had lost access to for over a year. So I tried to tell people, it doesn't matter who you vote for. They don't give a shit about you. Whether you're voting for them or not, they don't give a shit about you. And all of this had to do with Amazon using them as a scapegoat to get out of paying a huge fine or having a lawsuit. Something along those lines. They were trying to use this family as a scapegoat. So don't think just because you voted for these blue doozies that you're safe, because you're not. I'm personally suggesting the safest place, really, for anybody to keep their money at this point, if you can secure it in your home, that's the place to do it. If you can secure it. If you can't secure it in your home, the only financial institution that may potentially still be reasonably safe would be credit unions and or savings and loans. So if you've got a savings and loan anywhere, I would definitely switch over. If you got a credit union, they're pretty much everywhere. Not as big of numbers as banks are, but there's still a lot of them out there. Pretty much every city has at least 2 or 3. Other than that, got news for you. This was a news flash for me. Someone had told me, actually probably a few people over the last few years have told me that in any scenario, doesn't matter what worst case scenario we're talking, the government has made foolproof arrangements for them to survive even and continue running. I don't know who they'd govern if everybody else is dead. That makes absolutely no sense to me. But I guess somehow it does make sense to them. But even in a situation where they were the only ones to survive and there was no one, everybody else is dead, and there's no one left to govern, they still are going to manage to not only keep going, but somehow be operational. That is true. That is true. If you do not watch Tubi, you need to start doing that, because there are very informative documentaries on there. Very informative. We not only have the executive order 10607, I think it is, that came out from the white-haired troll, but this same, very similar one was done by Obama. God only knows what kind of executive orders that the dumpster put into effect. But he said on several occasions that the President of the United States has complete and absolute authority over everything. And he was not lying. Telling you, he wasn't lying. You need to see these, because these orders haven't been signed by anybody yet, but they are just ready and waiting for the right situation. Whether it's real or created, the effects are going to be the same. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if it's real or if it's something that they've invented and broadcast all over TV to convince everybody that it's real. The effects will be the same. These emergency orders do. They give the president complete dictatorial control. He can imprison anybody he considers to be a subversive or political dissident, anybody that doesn't like him, speaks out against him. They go to prison immediately. No due process of any kind, and then likely going to stay there unless they get executed, which is likely to happen. Unless they decide they want to use them for slave labor, in which case that wouldn't be any better, because you're likely going to get beaten every day and malnourished. So if you don't die from the beatings every day or the malnourishment, then the two combined are going to eventually take you down. They can seize property of anyone they don't like at any time, take all of your money, which they're doing already to a lot of people, closing accounts, seizing assets. I mean, it's already being done, just not on a large scale just yet. But don't think that if they do invent some scenario, fake or not, that they're broadcasting to everybody is real, this is going to go down. One of these orders is going to go down. And it's not just every aspect of your life that they have the authority to control in whatever way they want. All the power, utilities, water, internet, everything. If they want to shut your internet off, they can. They want to shut your water and your lights off, they can do all of this under one of the, well, even they can do it now. But in that situation, they would definitely do all of that to bring you into compliance. So, as I always say, have a really good bug out location. Be ready to ditch your phone, because you're going to have to do that, and you have to lose it someplace very far from where you're going to be. Because even if you got it turned off, unless it's in a Faraday pouch, they still going to know where you are. That's the way things are, folks. That's what we have coming. When? I don't know, but as you well know, people are saying by June, but I got a feeling it's going to be sooner than June, that the economy is going to come to a complete collapse. I really do believe, well, we're already seeing retail collapse. It's just not as bad as it's going to get. But wait till after Christmas. That's when we're really going to start seeing, I think, a lot of layoffs in retail, as well as we're already seeing in a lot of these big tech companies. At any rate, nothing looks good. It all looks bad. Just keep in mind, God is with us. And if He is for us, who can be against us? Remember that. Till next time, Mr. Sick of Shit, signing out.